Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Justice League issue number 7, the story on Shazam. Now, as you know from the last few issues of the new 52 Justice League run, they did cover their origin of Shazam, which I will be covering. And yeah, the story was adapted for the origin of Shazam in his own film that did come out recently. And the story mainly starts off how a guy explains that he was getting ready for work, basically minding his own business, and went into the elevator and that. Suddenly, everyone disappeared. He ends up falling, thinking he's going to die, but finds that he was entered into this strange room, which had all these magical stuff, and heard a voice that came in and saw that some thrones were shattered and empty except one, which was meant to be the new 52 version of the wizard, who says, "No, you're not you." And everyone point out, saying, I was back in my room. I was back home." And so it turns out that the person who is trying to find about the wizard is Dr. Savannah. Now, in the pre and post crisis, he was a small man. Here, he's a bit more bigger and a bit more sort of like trying to find the cure for his family. And he says, "I think 37 people from across the world with no connections whatsoever all seem to share a familiar experience." And he does point out about checking the book of Black Adam, how that he was once a slave, escaped, and the Council of Seven gave him powers. And of course, he vanished after conquering the 7 deadly sins, and that he's trying to save his family. Now, I don't think we know who Dr. Savannah's family are in the new 52 version. I know DC Rebirth had him working with Mr. Mind, so it's unknown if he's still going with his plan. So we're introduced to Philadelphia, where we are introduced to a new 52 version of Billy Batson. He seems like he's this nice kid who says, "Oh, sorry, Miss Clover. I saw some kids and their parents out there. Arms were full of presents, and they were drinking hot chocolate." And you can kind of tell Billy seems like this nice kid. His potential foster parents see some good potential in him. And of course, he asks, like, what things do you do? And he talks about doing podcasts, basically likes cooking, reading, and saying, "I guess I want what everyone else does, right?" And of course, they decide to take him in, and they do have other foster children who would love to be with him. And of course, Miss Clover does say about that she'll take him tomorrow and that to meet his new foster family. And of course, we find out that Billy Batson was mainly acting, and that, yeah, he's meant to be a little arrogant, snarky, and this is a point where you can tell Miss Clover is annoyed by Billy Batson's behaviour, and saying that, "You better not screw this up, I'm running out of foster homes." And of course, they do make the deal that, he stays out of his life, she stays out of his. And he says, "Yeah, tell me something I don't know." And introducing to what the story's going to be for the other issues. So the first part of Shazam isn't too bad. I think Billy's new 50 origin does work, because there are kids like Billy Batson who's not going to have an easy life. They're going to be a bit more withdrawn. They're going to be a bit more snarky. The problem with the original origin was that it was just generic. Evil uncle taking money from him, basically him working as a newspaper boy. It's just generic. This one is a bit more realistic. So I think it deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.